You said that men needs more variety, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't it mean that they also get bored?
We're not gonna end relationships though. You'll be with your girl, and you're gonna keep your girl. You might have sex with some other girls, but you're gonna keep your girl.
Why wouldn't they end the relationship?
Because we're not like you guys. We can have sex with other individuals and still love our woman. Women can't really do that. That's why when girls cheat and they have a guy, they feel insanely guilty, and they wanna end the relationship, or they'll end the relationship before they cheat on him. Because men and women are different. We look at sex just like, oh, this is an activity. For you guys, it's an emotional investment. You're getting involved with another man. Like, women need to cheat. They need to feel something in the head before they get in bed, right? For us, it's like, is she hot? All right, that's enough.
It's just like a physical boredom.
It's a very physical thing.
Yeah.
It's a very physical thing and not an emotional thing.
Oh my God, FreshandFit. I don't know where they get their ideas from. It's as if I don't know where the evidence is for what they're saying at all. They're basically talking about the desires of the top 5% of men, 10% of men, who have the looks and the money and the hair and everything that a woman wants. The ones that will be swiped on. And they've got the riz, they've got the charisma, they've got all of this stuff. And they're desired by a lot of people. That doesn't happen generally with the majority of men. The majority of men are very loyal. They're loyal people. And these guys are teaching disloyalty. And they're teaching that to be disloyal is a virtue. It's what men do. It's a trait. It is natural. It's, what the fuck? No. That's not what men are like, from my experience, at all. From my experience, men are very loyal and they get very few opportunities. And the ones that do get lots of opportunities and treat their women like shit are generally looked down upon by other men. Like they're absolute wankers. Maybe not when they're 19 and they are players. But the women generally know that these guys are players, and so they don't have them as boyfriends. I don't know about that bit. But FreshandFit are talking absolute tripe. I don't know whether there's a difference. This is a difference between maybe American versus UK, or urban versus less urban cities versus something else. I haven't got a clue. But there's a problem with what they're saying, and the problem is that they are saying that, for want of a better term, and I don't like this term, what they're saying is being immoral, i.e. disloyal, adulterous, having your cake and eating it, hypocritical, unprincipled, untrustworthy, is good for men. It's natural for men. And that's not true. There's no evidence for that. There is merely evidence that some men are not loyal. That's what there is evidence for, absolutely. Completely agree with that. Some men are not loyal. Just like some women are not loyal, not trustworthy. I think the better angle of talking about it is that the number of women being disloyal and their ability to be disloyal and their opportunities are much, much higher now with the internet, with all the validation, with the dating apps, with in every single way, the opportunities for the majority of women to be disloyal are much higher, and they've gone through this sexual liberation, sexual revolution phase where they think that's all right. They have determined that it's good to be disloyal, immoral, untrustworthy. I can do what I want. I pergamy. I can monkey branch. I can divorce or break up at any chance that I have, and it's all me, me, me. But relationships have always broken up. They start, they break up for whatever reason, one of which might be somebody cheated on you. So I completely disagree with what Fresh and Fit are saying. And maybe that's because I'm not an alpha, I'm not a top anything %, I am just an average dude. But I have been monk mode for over a decade, quite happily, thank you very much, had enough, not interested, don't want it, has no pull for me whatsoever. And life has been unchaotic and simple, and just getting on with work and having my money coming in and not spending more than I actually earn. It's just like, wow, saving money, building my assets, building my future, making sure my 2 lads are perfectly all right and doing well as a single dad, and they are. My eldest is making an absolute fortune down in the big smoke with his own company in STEM, because he's one of the best programmers that I've ever known. But this whole aspect of sexuality and relationships, the whole aspect of sexuality and relationships is it's the low-hanging fruit for the so-called manosphere. It's really easy, and it's what the youngsters who watch YouTube are interested in, and they're go-getters, and they've got their testosterone, and they're wanting to be built up, and it works. It does, it works. But it is the low-hanging fruit. It is. It's like cutting your hair, getting your hair cut while ignoring somebody throwing acid in your face. And the issue is the societal issue with the acid being thrown in your face of superiority, matriarchy, takeover, still claiming to be victims and minorities, and wanting privilege just on the basis of sex, gender, race, when in a lot of cases that's actually been resolved, completely resolved. We've got massive education problems between the genders. We've got massive suicide differentials between the genders. We've got massive health, longevity differentials between the genders. We've got equal pay but unequal work. We do not have a merit-based society that is focused on skills and expertise. We don't really promote the real virtues and the good things that make life worth living. We are promoting. We're giving people the idea you can do anything. You've got everything at your disposal. Anything and everything that you want to do, you can do it. Nothing can hold you back. Now that's that sort of right bit. You have the right to go for anything and to do anything. And nobody's putting the responsibility in there that says, but you've got to look at your personal responsibility. You've got to look at your principles. You've got to look at the restrictions that are on you from a societal basis. You've got to look at your morals. Have you got any? I'm not talking about objective morals. I'm talking about personal morals. If your personal moral is to sell yourself, what the fuck is going on here? There's a problem, alright. If you're going to sell your body intimately, so I'm not talking about model agencies which have their own principal problems. I'm not talking about model agencies where people are wearing clothes. I'm talking about the morality around sexuality and nudity and promoting yourself on that basis. There are some issues there, and it's no different between a woman selling her body in that way and a man building themselves up, jacking themselves up, getting themselves all tattooed, and then going on Instagram and flexing without clothes on. It's the same thing. It's weak. You've done a load of good stuff to get into that position, and now it's a flaunting, it's an ego, it's a pride. One of the 7 deadly sins. And I'm not even fucking religious. Some of these things are just principles that eke into you, and they're removing those principles, which is where a lot of the problem comes in. There don't seem to be any principles to society. There seems to be hypocrisy. There seems to be fluidity in terms of my principles can change anytime that I want them to. My principles can change on the basis of what colour somebody's skin is, or what gender they are, or what sex they are. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Principles are principles. And you can't make generalizations to change those principles and to fluidly apply those principles or not apply those principles on the basis of some irrelevant trait of which nobody has got any control over, because that's how they were born. That's the point about the whole focus of everything to do with racism and sexism and all the other bloody isms. You do not judge people on the basis, anybody, you don't judge anyone on the basis of traits they can do nothing about. So that morality comes back to precisely what Meyer and FreshandFit are actually talking about. Morality is of the utmost importance, that you have a morality that fits with society. And I know that teenagers don't have those moralities, those particular types of moralities a lot of the time. Teenagers like to stretch boundaries. They don't care about doing X, Y, or Z. The little things like litter, like picking up dog dirt, like having a fight in a bar. Those sort of antisocial type things that are around responsibilities. You can take them away from moralities. You call them legalities instead, that are imposed by society, but there's a good reason for them being imposed by society. It makes society better if those things don't happen. And as you grow older, you grow up and you implement the bits that society requires, because you realize actually the world is better now that I'm on my own in society, and I realize I have to take account of others, because taking account of others means good things happen to me as well. Then that's how the world goes forward and progresses and gets better. But if you lose all those moralities, if you drop them all, if you lose the legalities, if you ignore it, if you allow certain sections of society to get away with things, take the prison service for an example, take the justice system. A man versus a woman doing exactly the same thing, criminal thing, under exactly the same context. The sentence is completely different. I watched a TikTok video yesterday. No, not TikTok, it was on YouTube. I call these things TikTok videos. I watched a YouTube video yesterday, and it was a fight that was in the UK, in a pub, and it was probably over New Year. It was one of the latest things. It was probably down in London, but it could have been anywhere. It was in a bar. Some two guys started fighting. Yeah, alcohol was involved. These two guys start fighting. And this woman in a blue dress, who's been watching for a couple of seconds, looks down, looks at this table, and it's got a bottle on it, or a very heavy glass. She picks it up, pours out whatever's in it, walks up to the two people who are fighting, waits until the opportunity arises for her to be able to attack the person that she doesn't like of the two that are fighting, and hits him on the back of his head. You see him crumple onto the floor. You hear this clank as it hits it, this bottle, this glass. Luckily it didn't smash. Now there's a lot of stuff that suddenly happens in this video again, very quickly, so it moves slightly away from this, but somebody lamps this woman. absolutely hits her, and she's with her boyfriend who is stood right behind her, and this person that has lamped the woman correctly, rightly, absolutely takes her out. That's my morality. You want to get involved, you're part of it, you got to take the consequences. So this bloke goes through this woman, absolutely takes her out. She ends up on the floor, and he carries on going towards her boyfriend, takes him out. Now I can see the outcome of this. I can see the outcome being that the woman probably doesn't even get reported, or if she does, she gets away with it. She might get a caution. But any of the blokes will get criminal charges. Alternatively, if it was a bloke that actually picked up the glass or the bottle and hit another bloke with it, he'd end up in prison. She'll probably just get a caution. And this is the double standards that we're currently living in. And I don't like to see double standards anywhere, which is why I have a problem with what Fresh and Fit talk about. Because I completely disagree. Principles are principles, and they apply all times. They apply at all times to everyone. Now, you can be a douchebag and you can be disloyal and untrustworthy. All it means is you're a douchebag. You don't get a pass because you're a man. You don't get a pass from being a douchebag because you're a man with lots of money. You don't get a pass at being a douchebag because you're a man that lots of women might want. You want to go and do the extra stuff? You do the honourable thing. You end your relationship. You stop that relationship because you're treating somebody like shit. And then go off and do it. You don't have relationships. Go off and screw who you like. But don't. When you're screwing somebody that you like, when you're screwing anybody that you just want to screw, you're screwing about, you're being a whore. A man whore. A player. A dude. When you're doing that, that impacts you. That impacts you on your own future relationships. That impacts you on whether you can bond with somebody or whether you're always looking for somebody else. This is one of the things that Fresh and Fit often talk about, and a lot of the rest of the Manosphere talk about. They talk about bonding. A woman who sleeps around, a woman who's got a big body count can't bond. Now, that is true, but it's also true for men. And this idea that, oh, it doesn't impact men, that they have lots of women, it doesn't impact a relationship, like Myron was just talking about. Doesn't impact the relationship if a man goes and has sex with somebody else. That's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. These men start treating their girlfriends, their wives like shit. They treat them as if they're lucky to have you. It's just all complete ego and power trip shit. That is my disagreement with the Manosphere. The concept of equality in rights, equality in opportunity, not egalitarianism, not equity, based on merit, based on skills, based on expertise, but it also has to be based on principles. Those principles are around trust and loyalty. Can somebody trust you? If you just go out shagging other people when you're in a personal relationship, how does your business partner know that you're not going to fuck them over by going to talk to somebody else, and then you as a man monkey branching over to somebody else. Nobody can trust you.
I thought I was liberating myself as a woman. I thought this is peak feminism. I am doing what I'm gonna do and I'm gonna get $1,500 for it. I was completely under that delusion. And that will always, I will never be a true high value woman.
Why would you still be supportive of those earlier waves, knowing that the result was you ending up being a prostitute?
1000%. You guys can all laugh, but the first wave was to vote and the second wave is to have jobs. The third wave has caused fucking having OnlyFans. I don't know what the answer is.
Got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay, cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency, a message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I shot my wife in the stomach with 38.
Why did you do this?
She enticed me and she ridiculed me throughout my lifetime. I'll see if she's alive. She's alive? Yeah. I think she's dead.